Esahein al-Gagarim, Mehayin Yahavohazari, Azrimahim Adonai, O Seshamayim Vaharetz, Aliyeten Lamot Raglecha, Aliyanom Shomerecha, Hinei lo yanom velo yishan, Shomer Yisrael, Adonai Shomerecha, Adonai Tzilcha, Aliyat Yeminecha, Yomam Hashemesh lo yakaka, Veyareach balayla, Adonai Shmorecha mikol ra, Yishmoret nafshecha, Adonai Shmoret tzedcha uvahecha, Meyata ve'ada olam.
Kol omer kra, va'amar ma'ekra, kol habasar chatzir, v'chol chasto ketzitz hasadeh. Yavesh chatzir novel tzitz ki ruach Adonai nashvabo. A voice says, cry out. But I ask, what shall I cry? All flesh is like grass. All of its beauty is like the flower of the field. The grass withers, and the flower fades, when a wind from God blows upon it. Surely, therefore, people are like grass. The grass withers, and the flower fades, but the word of God endures forever. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai roi lo echsar, bidno tesher yarbitzeni, almei menuchot yinhaleni, nafshi yeshovev, yancheni v'magle tzedek leman shemo. Gam ki elech, begates halmavet, lo ira ra ki ata imadi, shiftecha umishantecha, hema yinachamuni. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He has me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He guides me on paths of righteousness. He revives my soul for the sake of his glory. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod, they comfort me. You set a table in sight of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall abide in the house of the Lord forever. So much spirit, so much energy, so much desire to grow. She wanted to squeeze meaning out of every moment and out of every day. She wanted to reach for more, to realize the potential that we all have and that she had. I asked you, Gary, why was Robin so different than everybody else? You said because she could do anything and she was ready to do anything, to pursue adventure, to show her creative side, her writing and her poetry. And at a low period in your life, she introduced excitement into you. Her spirituality. She was constantly on a quest to make life matter. It had to be that today's the date of this funeral, because it's the day after we turned our clocks back. That means that this has been a 25-hour day. We've added an hour to our day, and that's what Robin always wanted to do. She always wanted to squeeze out of each day more time, one more hour, a little bit more of an experience. She would, if she could have, she would have squeezed a 25th hour out of every day of her life. It wasn't enough to have a 24-hour day. She wanted to make each of those hours matter. She made life matter during difficult times, and she made life matter during joyful times. She was so devoted to her mother. Her father had died when she was young, still in elementary school, and she admired and respected her father and loved her father, but his death truly changed her life. Changed family life. It changed economic life, but she always took care of her mom. Even leaving college to come home and go to school here, taking more time, she had to work at the same time, but she made it through. She sacrificed what would have been a different kind of college experience, but she was there for her mom, and it created a special bond for a lifetime. She made a difficult time, but made the time matter. Having such a dramatic loss of a parent and challenges economically would have left others angry and bitter. There's no doubt that it affected Robin. She had her worries at times, but it also made her empathetic, made her very, very aware of other people's troubles and other people's feelings. And you told me about your family meetings, right? You'd all be growing up. She'd call a family meeting, which was her way of having you talk about your feelings, sharing your feelings, your angst, and having dialogue with her. She understood how life can jar you. She understood how life can kick you around a little bit. Robin experienced the loss of her brothers. She cared for Marshall in his illness, and as in so many other areas of her life, she responded to tragedy with love and with will and with determination. Maybe it was because of these challenges, maybe it was simply encoded into her DNA, but Robin was always ready to roll up her sleeves and get to work. She was a strong and a purposeful person. You know, we all know about 24-hour restaurants and 24-hour grocery stores and 24-hour laundromats. Robin was a 24-hour-a-day mom. That's what she was. She was always open. She was always ready. Robin speculated about many things. She spoke to me at times about why is there evil in the world. She spoke to me about the hereafter. She spoke to me about reincarnation. But even with all that speculation, even with all those questions, she didn't just fill up her day with speculation. She was into doing. She was into action. She was into being there for all of you, and nothing gave her more joy than that. She sought out what was right for each of you as individuals. I know she used to cook and give you your own special meals every single night. But she also sought to connect with each of you in terms of your own interests. She never missed your shows. She never missed your games. She never missed your concerts. Well, one time I know she missed one of your shows. She was very apologetic. I hope you've grown to understand it. Maybe you even ultimately will forgive her for this one absence. That was the day she gave birth to Cole. I mean, that we forgive her for. To let a child know that he is loved, and to let a child know that she is loved, may be the most important thing that a parent can do. And she always lets you know that you were loved. She was so thoughtful with everything she did. She was persistent in giving you the opportunities that you expressed an interest in. It wasn't that she was dictating your interests. She would hear from you about your interests, and then she would align the sun and the moon and the stars to give you that opportunity. Singing, music, sports, acting, whatever it was. The right school, the right experience, in your illnesses and in your health. To London or to California. She was there for you. You were her priority and you were her joy. And that started with Robert. Robert, your earliest memory was how Robin made you feel so loved from the very beginning of her marriage with Gary, providing for you a safe and secure and a loving environment. You all said that it was sometimes challenging because your mom would take her time doing things. She'd take her time getting out of the house. Difficult to keep her on a timely schedule. But you know what? It gave your mother great joy to take her time. She took her time being a mom. She took her time creating a family. She took her time growing as a person. She took her time with people, with friends and family. And maybe it's a blessing to take all the time you want, because we don't know how much time we have. Imagine that life will end tomorrow. The Talmud actually tells us, imagine each day that life's going to end tomorrow. And if you imagine that, how will it affect the way you spend today? And you know what? I don't know that Robin would have spent her days any differently than she did. Because she spent her life making things happen and making life happen. You told me she never threw anything away. Anything. But it represents her life. She never discarded any of her experiences. Every chapter in her life served a purpose. Each chapter shaped who she was. You told me she loved to, I know she loved to read. She would often read and read. Other kids could afford other things. She was reading. But each chapter in her life formed her story, and she was proud of it. Her life had changed and become much more challenging when she was young, but her life changed again, and for the better, by meeting you, Gary. You helped her fashion and shape all of this. All of this was shaped with you and through you. You gave her a security she did not have. You gave her a rootedness, a steadiness. You kept her grounded. If she gave your life a spirit and an excitement that you wanted and needed, then you gave her life a definition that allowed her to think creatively. You gave her the reassurance she needed to be all that she wanted to be. You two were very different, but very supportive and very committed. She was interested in natural products. Robin was interested in natural things. She was green before the whole world was green, because she wanted a wholesome environment, and not just with toxins that are chemicals. She wanted a wholesome environment of relationships in her life. And she was proud of all you. And she would be proud of all of you now, because now none of you needs to feel alone today. You are going to be sensitive and aware of each other's feelings because she created that in you. You're going to take care of your dad because she nurtured that instinct in you. You're going to do the best you can each day and not be afraid to move forward because she taught you that. We spoke about this. As close as your mother had been with her mother, there was a time when her mother was taken away from her, and it must have been excruciating for her. And yet, she found a way to move forward. She trained you to be able to do this, to be there for each other, to care, to grow each day of your life, to go all out, to find meaning every day of your lives, just like she did in hers, to treat life as if you could squeeze out an extra hour of every day. She trained you to be that way, to grow up with her and without her. Of course you wish she were here physically. She can be with you, not physically, but she can be with you by you remembering the way she was. Of course you wish she were here physically, but she can be with you in a new way as you show your dad you love him. Remember, her dad died and she took care of her mom. Your mom died, and there's someone to care for. She programmed you for this. She prepared you for this. And remember, never throw anything away. Never throw any, even this moment, use it for your strength. No guilt. No guilt. No, I should have been this, I should have been this, I could have done that. You had a love with your mom that there are no regrets for. So cherish it and remember it and use it. Use it when you roll up your sleeves to do the work of each day. She lived with a good name, and she died with a good name. I'm going to call on Lisa and David.
Good afternoon. Well, first I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. My wife asked me if I jotted down any notes. I said no, I have it all in my head. She said, promise me you'll make it short and sweet. So I will. So my aunt, and by the way, Rabbi Scoff stole a lot of my material, so I'm going to have to improvise a little bit, not to repeat him. Auntie Ra was the best. She represents the best that this world offers. Kind, always loving, unconditionally. She was bright, creative, and compassionate. I will tell you what made her all special was that no matter what she was doing, she always had time. She had time for her kids, Gary, and all of us. We have a unique experience with our aunt because she was like the aunt that was always around, because we're much older than her children. We went through her dating, and she fortunately found Gary, who's wonderful. But at the end of the day, she was the greenie before green was cool. And now I have to admit, I have organic latex mattresses, and I didn't buy it from her because she was out of that business at the time, but I did follow that trend. And I just hope that all of us never forget how strong she was throughout her entire life, overcoming adversity after adversity. We all share that now. And I will say that I think about my father, what he did to overcome his adversities and losing a father. Then we lost him. And unfortunately, there's a trend in my family, but we're breaking that trend. But the one thing that we always have to gain from the experience is strength and overcoming whatever comes our way after our parents are gone. I love you guys. I love her. We'll get through it together.
Unfortunately, it seems like yesterday that we were here for my dad. So for us, this is a pretty loaded. I do have a written speech, but I'm going off it for just a second because this really is the end of an era, of a Selznick era, and of that part of the family. And there's no one left. All 5 are gone, and so it's pretty loaded for us. And it's up to all of us to keep it all going, and we will. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Lisa, and I was Robin's niece, and her brother Marshall, that was our dad. So I wanted to share with all of you a part of Robin that you may not know. To us nieces and nephews, Robin was our Auntie Ra. Auntie Ra and I in particular, we were very close because I was the first one to come along. And she was only, I think, 19. I think that was right. Right? 19. So she was my young, cool aunt, and we spent a ton of time together. She was at our house what seemed like all of the time. We had lots of sleepovers at her house too, and at one point we lived with Grandma and Auntie Ra. So that was really, really cool. I remember driving around in her beat-up car with a hole in the back. I would watch the road go by like a Flintstones car. I didn't care though. I was with my Auntie Ra, and that was all that mattered. Auntie Ra and I seemed to always understand each other, and it wasn't always easy for others to understand us. We really were besties. I was with Auntie Ra during her search for her husband. It was quite a search. I was there a lot until she met Gary. Gary and I were talking yesterday, and he said that on one of their dates early on in their courtship, she told him that he needs to come meet her mom and her brother and sister-in-law and the kids, us kids. What he didn't really know was that he had to get through us, not to just meet us. He had to get through us to get to her. We needed to approve, and we did. And to some men, she would have come off as a little presumptuous to meet her family so quickly. But for Gary, it meant that she was so close to her family. And that's one of the reasons why he really fell in love with her. And Gary was the one for Auntie Ra. I had never seen her so truly at peace and so happy. And I was actually maid of honor at her wedding, and I was only 13 years old. And that's a pretty special thing. Not many people can say that. I went with her to buy her wedding dress and everything. I was there the whole time. It was really, really special. The only bad part was that I got chickenpox 3 weeks before her wedding. And I had chickenpox all over my face. And I wore a lot of makeup. That was okay. But then I couldn't wait for Auntie Ra to have children. And she really couldn't wait either. She felt that her life purpose was to be a mom. And when Ariel was born, Auntie Ra was beaming. It was so much joy. I really remember when she was born in particular. And I remember babysitting a lot for Ariel. And Auntie Ra trusted me when I was really young, and I felt so good about that too. But I remember one particular night I was holding Ariel in the rocking chair, and I was about to put her to bed, but I didn't want to put her to bed. I wanted to hold her for a really long time, and she felt so warm and cuddly and delicious, and I just had to hold her there for a really long time. And I knew at that moment, I remember thinking, I can't wait to be a mom too. And I knew that was going to be my life purpose too, and now I have 3 beautiful children, so I'm very lucky. But us nieces and nephews grew up, and we got married, and we had kids of our own. And we do have kids of our own. And our Auntie Ra welcomed our significant others like they had always been part of the family. She loved them so much. And she loved our children. She couldn't wait to see them all of the time and hug them and love them. And she did. And she bought them gifts. And if you've ever gotten one of my aunt's gifts, they were really special. She thought about them for a while, right? And she got you something and the kids something that she really wanted them to have, and she thought they would really, really love. Because that's just who she was. She was so thoughtful and so full of love. Auntie Ra was a light in this world like no other. She found the good in the world, and when for her there was a lot of bad. She stopped along the way to appreciate the colors in the world and the colors in each of us. There's less light in the world now, but it is shining bright in heaven and is shining in each of us, especially you guys. Her light is in each one of you, and it's so, 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 so bright. She really loved you to the moon and back. But it's up to all of us now to carry on that light together. And Auntie Ra, wherever you are, you can be sure that us kids will be together. I can promise you. As you are up there, finally having a reunion with your family, with Grandma and Grandpa and Uncle Bobby and Daddy, joking and teasing and laughing and loving, we will be doing the same down here. We will remember how special you are to so many people. We will look for the butterflies and the rainbows and the dragonflies and the sunsets and all of the colors in the world and think of you. You will always be our Auntie Ra, and we love you. Thank you.
Kyle and Cole.
There are certain times in our lives when we are tested, when we gotta be strong. Our mama, above all, was always strong. She knew how to enjoy the little things, and she always put us first. Our mom is no ordinary mom or friend, and that's why this cuts so deep for all of us. She was simply the best, and we're unbelievably lucky to have been raised by such a remarkable spirit, and to have spent the time we got to spend as a family. The last time that I spoke to my mom on the phone, I was about to go on stage, and she called me because she was so excited for the opportunity that I had to perform, because she knows how much it means to me. She told me to go out there and show everyone who I am, to let everything else in the world go, and to break a leg, just like she always did. She is our angel, forever and always.
Whenever we were feeling down or anxious, Mom would always insist we repeat, "I am safe and all is well." Here, in our darkest hour, is when she would have made us say it with more strength than ever. "I am safe and all is well." Because of my mom, that is not a lie. I am safe because my mom is watching over me. I am well because I am with the family that my mom molded. I am safe because my mom showed us what toughness is. I am well because there is a piece of my mom in the heart of everyone here today. I am safe because my mom showed us how to care for each other. And I am well because I am so very lucky to have her for a mom. I love you, Mom.
Now we're going to ask Robert and Ariel and Lizzie to come on.
Robin really wrote poetry, and we all wanted to share with everyone one of her poems. Where was I, Mommy, when you were a little girl? I don't know. I am not sure. You weren't born yet. Yes, I was, Mommy. I was the moon, the bright white moon with the curl.
Where was I, Mommy, when you were a little girl? I don't know. I am not sure. You weren't born yet. Yes, I was, Mommy. I was the sky, the true blue sky with the swirl.
Where was I, Mommy, when you were a little girl? I don't know. I am not sure. You weren't born yet. Yes, I was, Mommy. I was the star, the mellow yellow star with the twirl.
There is always a circle, a golden sun that is bright. I don't know, I'm not sure, it's not clear what is right. Yet even in total darkness, there is always moonlight. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Where is heaven, Mommy? Where do you go when you die? Is there heaven in every city, or just one to try? I don't know, I am not sure, I didn't die yet to know. I trust heaven's everywhere, everywhere you can go. I believe it is beautiful, filled with rainbows and light, beams of red, orange, and purple, an array to delight. A bed of feathers, a pure sense of peace, a magical garden, a place to release.
Where will I be, Mommy, when you die? I don't know yet. I'm not sure yet. You'll do fine, I hope. Whenever, whatever, I know you can cope. For when and where is beyond our control and desire. Live each day to the fullest with passion and fire. Know that I love you today and forever. Breathe, live holy, laugh, Take it slowly. Too soon it will be your child asking, "Where was I, Mommy, when you were a little girl?"
Let's all rise for the memorial prayer.
תחת כנפי השכינה, במחלות קדושים הדהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים, את נשמת רוחמה, שהלכה לעולמה, בגן עדן תחי מנוחתה. אנא בא לרחמים, אז תראה בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, ותצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתה, אדוני ונחלתה, ותנוח בשלום על משכבה. ונאמר Amen.
May we remember all of the worthy and the righteous deeds that she performed while in the land of the living. May her soul be bound up in the bonds of eternal life. May she rest in peace. And let's all say Amen. Let's be seated. We want to offer our condolences to the entire family, to Gary, to Robert and Dorothy, to Ariel and Lizzie, to Kyle and Cole. Family will be receiving friends for the Shiva visitation. The address is 3075 Sulgrave Oval. Again, 3075 Sulgrave Oval. That's beginning today following services and continuing today until 8 p.m. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Family will be receiving 1 to 4 p.m. and again 7 to 9 p.m. each of those 4 days. And then also next Friday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. We will be pausing in the service now to arrange the processional to complete the ceremony at the burial ground at the cemetery. Please remain in your seats for another moment. The pallbearers, however, should now come forward.